This Java Mocha suspension is a kind of an all-in-one suspension. With slight modifications, you can make it more modular. The first point of modularity is that the hammock does come out, so the hammock is not stuck to your suspension in case it's wet. So you undo your lark's head here, you undo your lark's head here. It's a little fiddly. And so then when you pack up your hammock can stay separate from your suspension. This part of the suspension here is a whoopee sling. It's lark's headed onto the hammock. The structural ridge line is also lark's headed onto the hammock, and the lark's heads are interlocking. So that part is not modular on this suspension. The only way to make that more modular would be to change this to another knot, like a Pheromone friction hitch that was cinched all the way up to the gathered end. Up here you have the whoopee sling. What it is, it's permanently spliced into this continuous loop. It's permanently sliced into the continuous loop. That is, I believe that's a 5-rat prusik. That'll give you 10 coils that holds onto this strap. I've had less good luck with it with the Kevlar than this standard type of strap. This standard type of strap holds the prusik. The prusik can be a little fiddly, and the prusik is only tied one time. So we'll loosen this up. We'll loosen this suspension, take it backwards. This is a Pheromone friction hitch. This is a Pheromone friction hitch. And this is a prusik. I've showed how to put the prusik on with the lark's head in other videos that I've done so that you don't need any hardware. All right. All this is a continuous loop that's prusiked on there to help me grip the rope. If I had strong enough grip, I could just grip the rope like that, but since I don't, I use this prusik as a come-along to tighten up the suspension. You just pull on it here and you tighten it up. Tighten it up like that. And then you don't have to hank your rope. You pull on this. That's also a Pheromone friction hitch, and it also helps hold it. They both hold. Well, you say, well, why didn't you just put a 20 wrap one here? Well, it'd be too fiddly to work with. It wouldn't slide good. And then the other thing is you lose some of your adjustability with that. What this mainly does, besides backing it up, it keeps you from having to hank your rope. You don't have any rope hanging down on the ground. You don't have to hank your rope. All right. Now, one of the other things that I like about this suspension is your tarp stays horizontal and your hammock suspension stays close to 30 degrees. So you got your 30 degree here, you got your horizontal here. And it is better to be vertical than horizontal unless you're in a hammock. All right, so you tighten this up, and then you tighten this one up. Now be careful here not to tighten this tarp too much, because this section right here is sticking out from the tree almost horizontally. And so in other words, the line is about as short as it can get. Well, I haven't tightened it real tight, but it's about as short as it can get. Now, when I get in the hammock, it will pull this down. I'll just show you here. It pulls this down, you see. It pulls this down. And so that makes this distance here longer. And so if your tarp is too tight, you can bust your tie out when you sit in your hammock. So this part here with the whoopee and the continuous loop and the prusik and the grappler's hitch I've shown in another video called Phantom Grappler Suspension. Then when you add this on, it's I call this the Java Mocha. For this Java Mocha suspension, I don't have to tie any knots during setup. All my knots are tied one time, and then I'm done with them, and I'll have to retie them. Now, one of the problems with this, where it's all stuck together, is it's not as modular as it could be. And then another problem is, well, along with modularity, since it's not as modular, then I could have trouble in a rainstorm. If a rainstorm got me, I know a sudden rainstorm would catch me. But I can fold this tarp in to make doors. I don't have doors, but I can fold it in. It's a large enough tarp to fold it in. Another way that I can cheat on this, and this would be cheating and it would be risky, instead of hunkering down, I can hunker up. Now, there's no 30-degree angle of hang, and so it's very risky. I doubt that the 1/8 will bust, but in a rainstorm with rain and winds and violated the 30-degree angle of hang, I could very likely pull one of these trees over on me and kill me, and possibly kill somebody that was camped near me. But anyway, there is that possibility. If you want to leave this suspension as an all-in-one, you can, instead of hunkering down, you can hunker up, and you can see how fast it would be to hunker up. You can raise this hammock up pretty quick. Now the only problem is getting in, but when you get in, you can hold on to this or hold on to this. They'll both hold you. You can get in there. Let's see what we got here. There you go. You're in there. So it's up to you. You're living dangerous. You're gonna die. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody on Hammock Forums. Thank you, Sergeant Rock. Thank you, Shug. Thank you, Professor Hammock. Phantom Grappler says, get out there with what you got.